Greetings from the Simulacra, where we explore worlds within worlds all around the world. And today we are going to Nuova Gibellina. Today we're going to Nuova Gibellina. Nuova Gibellina. And today we are going to Nuova Gibellini. And today we are going to Nuova Gibellina, a small village within Sicily's Trapani region, which was decimated by the Belice earthquake in 1968 and then was remade with a totally postmodern vision. And it technically is the largest open air artwork in the world. This isn't quite a simulacrum of the official definition, just like a few of our episodes have been. It's not quite a world within a world. Postmodernism has a lot of different definitions according to different industries and mediums. This is a look at kind of the art world's view of postmodernism, where buildings of a town that once existed are replaced by basically art pieces. In the remote hills of western Sicily lies a ghost town, a city built not for function but for memory. To the uninitiated, Gibellina Nuova might resemble a desert mirage. Brutalist sculptures rise from empty plazas. A cracked white landscape stretches across the ruins of its predecessor, and giant concrete structures loom. Sometimes compared to the small American art town known as Marfa, Texas, Gibellina was coined by the Atlas Obscura, a failed postmodern utopia. While Marfa emerged from minimalism and patronage largely out of the vision of an artist named Donald Judd, Gibellina rose from the wreckage of tragedy. The original town of Gibellina was destroyed in the 1968 Belice earthquake, which killed hundreds and displaced nearly 100,000. What followed was not a straightforward reconstruction, but a symbolic reimagining. At the center of this effort was Ludovico Corrao, an unorthodox politician and visionary. Ludovico Corrao, whose vision actualized this big open-air museum that we're standing in today, is a really interesting figure. He's the son of an embroiderer and an artisan ironworker, and he cites his parents as influences in his creative vision, his hard work. But he himself went into law, so he started off as a progressive lawyer. Before entering politics, Corrao had made national headlines as a lawyer for Franca Viola, the first woman in Italy to publicly refuse a matrimonio ripatore, a so-called rehabilitating marriage with her rapist. Viola's resistance against societal norms and mafia pressure rewrote gender politics in Italy. Her family's home was torched in retaliation, but her courage reverberated across the country, helping repeal Italy's marriage rape law in 1981. There was a very traditional Sicilian norm that a woman must marry her rapist. Even though there was a social norm that she should marry him, her family was like, no, she won't. And they brought on Ludovico. And they were harassed by the town. And Ludovico fought for her, and he won the case. And basically his advocacy and her courage defeated this norm. He then became a senator, and then eventually, when this town was destroyed and there was some funding to rebuild it, he jumped in so fervently that he was eventually elected mayor because people liked his vision. Villagers really liked the idea of bringing art to this town and bringing attention to the city and restoring the city in a creative way. This early act of defiance, of refusing the script society had written for victims, mirrors what Corrao would later attempt through urban planning, rebuilding a city under a vision of renewal and self-empowerment. Corrao relocated the town and transformed it into a living museum, eventually becoming its mayor. He invited artists, architects, and urbanists to rethink what a city could be. The result was Gibellina Nuova, a sprawling stage set of monumental works, many of which were designed not to serve daily life, but to stand as aesthetic responses to loss. Corrao did a really interesting interview with a fan of the work, where he speaks about how inspired he is by Sicily and Sicilian spirit in a way that is very postmodern. Even though we don't really think of Sicily as sort of a postmodern place at all, it's really ancient and it's really a site of the original and of aura. He talks about how Sicily, because of its location in the world, is this place where identity really merges and interacts. There's Arab influence, there's Greek influence, there's Italian influence, and he's really inspired by that, which kind of reflects the nature of a postmodern city where different eras of art are brought in, and the city is sort of commenting upon itself rather than just sort of being one thing. So apparently that's a theater up there. Give it to you to kind of hold if you guys ever say anything that you think would be cool on camera.
Everything would be cool? I don't know if I've ever felt like what I'm about to say is going to be cool.
A southwestern American town, but also like I'm stepping into both North Korea and Minecraft. Like a video game that I played on my Netscape.
Yeah.
It's definitely a randomness.
Yes.
Like this.
Really basic angles and structures come together in like a modern way that you would see in RuneScape.
Another little playhouse.
Oh my god, there's a playhouse within the house. In this sense, Gibellina Nuova is a kind of example of Jean Baudrillard's idea of the simulacrum, a representation that doesn't reflect reality but replaces it. The city doesn't pretend to restore what was lost. Instead, it constructs a symbolic order from the ruins. Most famously, Alberto Burri's Cretto, which he started building in 1989, replicates the literal road map of the destroyed old town with a massive field of cracked concrete, mimicking its street grid like a fossilized memory. Corrao's language reveals a deep intuition about postmodern identity. Sicilians are islanders, he told an interviewer in 1999, but also universal beings, the fruit of many cultures, the fruit of many identities. In declaring that Sicily has never had a single essence, Corrao prefigures theorists like Omi, Baba, and Donna Haraway, who argue for identity as something that is multiple things at once, especially in an increasingly globalized culture, which Corrao himself acknowledges can favor the unscrupulous game of finance and wealth, but at the same time it can accelerate modes of communication. Or it may have within itself the seeds of revolution. This stands in stark contrast to the popular view of Italy as a land of timeless, essential culture. Gibellina proposes that Sicily is inherently postmodern, fragmented, mixing different kinds of art sensibilities and layered with meaning. With other initiatives like the creation of the Museo del Tram Mediterranee, Corrao sought to celebrate Sicily's Arab, Greek, Spanish, and Norman past, not only as roots, but almost as a multicultural collage. During the 1980s, Gibellina flourished culturally. The Orestiati Festival, founded by Corrao in a former textile factory, became one of Europe's premier art events. According to Vittoria Traverso for Atlas Obscura, he was inspired by the ancient Greek city-state model, where performance was at the center of public life. Locals acted in productions alongside international figures. Artists like Pietro Consagra, who would later insist on being buried in Gibellina, Alessandro Mendini, and Ludovico Corrao created civic structures as if they were sculpture. This era resembles Marfa's art renaissance, but with a more explicitly political and emotional core. So the Orestiati Festival was a major European art event that brought together artists from all over the world. Apparently, at its height in the 80s, Gibellina felt like the center of the world. Art was everywhere, and people were excited about what Ludovico had made. And then in 2011, he was murdered by his housekeeper. People actually thought that they were lovers. The Italian press kind of reported of this in a sort of homophobic way with weird tinges of sort of lurid fascination with the possibility. And by then, Gibellina had been sort of abandoned. The story's final act became a spectacle, an irony considering Corrao himself had fought against reductive narratives his entire life. Meanwhile, the artworks of Gibellina began to decay, with occasional instances of revival. So our friends were in a cafe in the town and they met someone who was here for a festival. So it turns out there is a festival happening here in this alleged ghost town, a photography festival. The streets were quiet, lending the town a spectral quality. And yet the meal we had was exceptional, prepared by a chef who spoke with striking optimism and vision for Gibellina's future. We're talking about how this place has the potential to be kind of a creative commune for people to actualize this like hope that it could be a Marfa, Texas like place. And we're kind of curious how much it costs to live here, what the apartments cost here.
What's your guess?
How many bedrooms?
A 2-bedroom apartment.
Like 80,000.
80,000.
Yeah.
I think maybe a little bit less because I was trying to bring in investment. So
okay.
I'd say like maybe 50, 60.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's one down the street from here that is 200 square meters with 7 rooms.
Okay.
€42,000.
Wow.
You're in the right ballpark. That's crazy.
I'm very curious in the layers of old and new because like this restaurant is like clearly very new.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what they saw. You know, like why were they like, okay, now is the time. Yeah, we're expecting an influx or something. Freshly painted things outside.
Yes.
But then like you go a street over and you're like, wow, this is definitely past its prime.
7 mesi? 7 months.
7 months ago. Oh, so it's new.
No.
There you go.
Okay.
It reminds me a little bit. Matt and I were just at the London Zoo, and there's this famous penguin exhibit, and it's a postmodernist penguin exhibit.
Oh.
Yeah, it was pretty iconic actually, but the problem was the penguins hated it.
Oh.
Yeah, the penguins hated it. And they started getting like issues with their feet because there was like it was not natural, and they ended up having to move the penguins to like another part of the zoo because the penguins got really depressed. But it kind of like it makes me think a little bit of this town because it was built based on art, but maybe not kind of considering what might be nice about actually living
Like an
here.
actual habitat.
It's artistic, but it's not like, oh, this is a nice place to gather.
It like imposes the vision on the people, but it's not really like people forward.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Interview.
Yeah.
Interview. I change my.
Oh, oh, I love that.
Cosa l'ha spinta ad aprire un ristorante a Nuova Gibellina?
Ho scelto di aprire a Gibellina perché è la mia città, amo questo paese, questa città di arte contemporanea e voglio stare qui e creare un futuro nel mio paese. Noi stiamo vivendo 2 flussi di persone, turisti internazionali e turisti locali siciliani. Quest'anno e negli ultimi anni sta cercando Gibellina di riqualificarsi e farsi un po' notare nell'ambito turistico, quindi anche i siciliani che non conoscevano Gibellina scelgono di trascorrere un weekend o una giornata a Gibellina e molto spesso si fermano anche a pranzo. E molto spesso sono passati da questo ristorante, da Osteria Floriana, degli architetti o comunque degli amatori dell'arte che sono venuti a Gibellina e che tra uno scambio di opinioni, Gibellina è una città stupenda e in ogni strada della città c'è un monumento da scoprire, un'opera d'arte da ammirare. Ovviamente non dico a tutti che Gibellina non è per i giovani, diciamo, che scelgono di viaggiare per divertimento, per discoteche e quant'altro. Gibellina è una meta prettamente per me artistica, dove un turista può venire a rilassarsi immerso nell'arte. Dire qual è la mia opera d'arte preferita è un po' difficile perché Gibellina ha più di 5.000 opere d'arte tra i vari musei e tra quelli che sono all'aperto. Sicuramente l'opera più importante che ci rappresenta tutti è il Cretto di Burri, che non è proprio in questa città di Gibellina, ma è a 30 km circa, ed è dove era Gibellina vecchia, quindi la vecchia Gibellina che poi è stata distrutta dal terremoto.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I
Nice
appreciate
to
it.
meet
I
you.
will send you my information.
Nice to meet you.
His belief in the town's potential offered a poignant counterpoint to the surrounding stillness. Wow, it's like open. So now we're here at the Museum of Contemporary Art of Gibellina. Even though it's just so quiet here, there are people working at this museum and people come to this museum. Do you take cards? Is it not open?
Questo qua è il percorso di fuori.
Oh, grazie. Grazie so much.
Inizia da questa parte.
Oh, thank you. We have 2 friends, 2 amigos.
Devono venire
Yes, 2
dove
more. Okay,
vengono
okay,
pagano.
grazie. Wait, is this the original?
Gibellina vecchia, dov'è il
Yes,
Cretto?
before the earthquake.
Dov'è il Cretto?
Yes. Wow.
Il Cretto è stato costruito sopra le macerie.
Yes.
Ok?
Cretto was built on top of the rubble. What do you love about living here?
Tutto.
Everything. Everything. Grazie.
What is that?
That's the river, right?
I think so. Yeah. Oh, and this is the theater thing. Like, when we walked down the street, we were parked here.
Ah, this will show us. So that's what you want to see, Jess, right?
Yes.
Yes. And
So what's the river? Is that's the cemetery?
that's a cemetery. I do kind of want to see the cemetery too. So Jess just said simulacrum on simulacrum because the room is full of all the monuments that make up Nuova Gibellina. That's what we drove through. And then that's what I stood in front of when I was in a bad mood. I was in a bad mood when I stood in front of that. Jesus. All right. I mean, the ideas are very exciting to me. He was a leftist politician. All right, now we gotta, okay, I'm gonna start the fuck over. Here, let's just start over. Okay. And you have both of these things in the back? This was a low point of the day. And there's the cool weird road thing.
This is it?
This is it, yeah. Oh, this is it. This is the weird road. Oh, this isn't the road thing anyway. I'll wait on it when we get to the weird road. I'm mostly just invested in seeing the weird road thing. Because what's interesting about the road thing, that might be the road thing that I was looking for, possibly. Or maybe not. Nope. Let's find the weird road then.
I can't find this weird road.
So his favorite thing that he was saying, that's the road thing I keep talking about. But this is the Cretto, is located at the site of the actual Gibellina where the earthquake hit and destroyed the city. He basically replicated the actual map of the streets, the medieval streets of the original city. And it was a project that was completed by funding by Marina Abramovich. So that's what the chef said his favorite piece in the town is, because it captures the spirit of Gibellina. When it was featured in a YSL campaign, it looked massive because the models were running through these streets. And so it's an idea of like preservation of a map, basically, making a map external and tangible. If that makes sense. And I walk away.
Yeah, the North Star. It is the door to Utopia, to the ideal town. The passage from the old to the new.
Many aspects of the city dazzled us. We were blown away by the elegance of its contemporary museum, however empty it was. Its thoughtful design and curation stood as a quiet rebuttal to the idea that Gibellina's story is only one of failure. The cemetery where the artist of the 5-point star, Pietro Consagra, is buried felt like something out of a film. Gibellina exists in limbo, a conceptual landscape, a place where mourning and media intertwine. Bunny? Oh. Yes, I got it. Like Marfa, it represents the improbable power of art to reimagine geography. But unlike Marfa's slow gentrification into an art world destination, Gibellina remains underfunded, underpopulated, and misunderstood. Thanks for watching Greetings from the Simulacrum. It was really fun to take you to Italy. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments where you would like me to decode next.